Welcome back! A lot of you have been asking us about the release of our Carbon Footprint Calculator app. We have been working very hard on the full version of our app, which we hope to bring you soon. Meanwhile, we've taken on board lots of your feedback from our beta app to make sure we're bringing you something you find both useful and enjoyable to use. With our app, you'll be able to try and live your daily life within a sustainable carbon footprint. Don't worry, we understand this might not be achievable straight away, so we've incorporated a couple of different levels with respective rewards, which will both challenge and motivate you. As you develop sustainable habits, it will become much easier to reach your full potential. The first thing you might be wondering is, what exactly is a sustainable carbon footprint? That is when our carbon footprint is in equilibrium with the Earth's carbon sequestration capabilities. We briefly mentioned that in the US, the average American is responsible for 16.4 tons of CO2 being released per year. This is over 3 times the global average, and more than 7.5 times the current sustainable limit. As our population grows and available land reduces, the current sustainable limit of 2.2 tons of CO2 will reduce even further to 1.7 tons of CO2 by 2050. Imagine if there were tough restrictions on the amount of CO2 each person could emit. Many in the US would struggle. If we had to live in a way which produced 2.2 tons of CO2 effective immediately, our lives would be almost unrecognizable, particularly those outside of ideal temperate regions that require excessive heating or cooling. Those in remote areas will struggle with the limited distance available to drive your petroleum-based cars. Working from home will become the norm, and those who can't will generally need to live within 5 miles of their employment. Depending on your current diet, the abundance of available meat will diminish, and local farmers markets will put larger, convenient grocery stores out of business. In your home, you'll be restricted on the energy you can use for heating, cooling, and cooking. So, you'll need to learn to bundle up, strip down, and eat a lot more raw foods. Even a night out on the town will be cut down to once a month. Sorry, date night. We really hope your friends and family live close. A return flight across the country will add over 0.5 ton of CO2 to your emissions. Upgrading your personal devices will occur only every few years. Do you make great fashion choices? We certainly hope so, as you'll be restricted to less than 10 outfits worth of clothing. Washing your clothes is reduced to a weekly event, and with only racks available to dry them on, this might take a while in the wet and cold months. Depending on where you reside and how you value the importance of different activities, this is how your breakdown might look. But we can potentially stave off this future by recycling and reducing waste, eating more plant-based foods, commuting via shared transport or carpooling, and switching to solar energy. You could make a sustainable footprint a reality sooner rather than later. It stands to reason that once companies and governments finally understand the science, or are run out of town for not listening to those who do, there will be some positive changes made. This will spur technology in the right direction, with funding and tax breaks where they belong, rather than to the fossil fuels industry. So, in 30 years, what could our lifestyles look like? Flash forward to a world that has 100% renewably sourced energy to your home and industry alike. You are driving a fully electric vehicle. Every single item you purchase is made from 100% recycled or organic material. There are no restrictions on your home life. Your diet is most likely predominantly vegan. However, meat products are grown in a dish rather than on an animal. Fashion trends no longer dictate your clothing. Need and availability does. So truly unique fashion is born. Everyone will one day be able to live an efficient and sustainable lifestyle with ease. But to make sure this is an option for our future, we all have to make an effort to change our habits now. Tell us in the comments any tips for how you lower your carbon footprint. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to download our app and subscribe so you can have the tools that can help you transition to a sustainable lifestyle.